Good to see you again, soccer fans. Mark Rogondino flying solo this week on The View from the Booth as we take a look at LA's next opponent, the Seattle Sounders, in MLS play. It'll be the second of 3 meetings on the campaign between the two Western Conference rivals after Seattle got the first one up there in the Pacific Northwest. The final on that one was a 2-0 win for the Sounders. Let's start with the Galaxy. Obviously in a great run of form, just 2 blemishes on their record over the last couple of months. The loss to San Jose and then the loss here at the Home Depot Center against Philadelphia on July the 4th. But other than that, you have to think LA has really started to pull it together and really starting to play in the way that we expected them to do so from the beginning of the season. I think it starts with the defense. Omar Gonzalez now becoming back into the fold as a regular starter in the 11, and he's also combining with David Lopez, so there's not so much pressure on the former Chivas USA defender David Lopez now that he's next to Omar Gonzalez. A good relationship developing between those two, but that has also allowed AJ De La Garza to move out to the right back spot, which is more of his natural position. And then now Brian Gall, all of a sudden the rookie, has come in on the left side since Todd Donovan went down with a calf injury, and it seems like that back four is starting to settle in. They seem to get better and better as the minutes go by in the recent games. You move into the midfield, the contributions between Marcelo Sarvas and Juninho paired together have been almost unmeasurable. I mean, Sarvas has really come alive. I think he's figured out the pace, the athleticism of Major League Soccer, and that's been a huge boost for Bruce Arena and the Galaxy. Juninho playing alongside him. They have that Brazilian contingency, and then you throw in a David Beckham or even recently a Mikey Stevens, bringing Mike McGee back from the injury list back into the fold. So everything seems to be headed in the right direction, including those 2 guys up top. Landon Donovan and Robbie Keane, you could argue that they have been LA's best 2 players over the last 2 months, and you just look at their stat lines and it's easy to see why. Both guys putting the ball in the back of the net, both guys setting up their teammates regularly, and it's all contributing to, I believe, 8 wins in the last 10 matches for the Galaxy. So now they turn their attention to the Seattle Sounders. Seattle, a very, very tough out for any team, including LA. And the reason is because it starts from the top with Ziggy Schmidt, and it moves all the way through the numbers that they have out on the field. The first player that you always want to talk about is Fredy Montero. He's a great striker in this league. He always seems to find a way to get that goal poacher's mentality where all of a sudden you think you have him covered for 75, 80 minutes of a match, and he gets that one opportunity in the last 10, 15 minutes, and he puts it into the back of the net. Well, now he's not alone up top. Now he's got a veteran player in Eddie Johnson, a guy who's had his ups and downs throughout the course of his career, whether it be in MLS or overseas. But this guy is really coming into his own now that he's returned back to MLS and under the guidance of Ziggy Schmidt. It's a very tough partnership for the Galaxy defense to handle in Johnson and Montero. You move into the middle part of the field, they have a lot of experience. They have veteran players like Brad Evans, the former Columbus crewman, who also won an MLS Cup with Ziggy in 2008. And then they have some good attacking pieces out wide that are able to get forward and able to get into the attack. There won't be any Flaco Fernandez. Alvaro Fernandez, the Uruguayan, has been traded over to Chicago, but still their midfield is very, very strong. And then you go all the way to the back defensively. They've got John Kennedy Hurtado and Jeff Park, those 2 players in the middle that are a veteran tandem, have now been together for 3 or 4 years, so they really don't make too many mistakes. I think the one place LA might be able to have some success is obviously first on the free kicks, because you have a player like David Beckham coming back into the fold to play against Seattle. He's going to be able to hit some quality balls into positions where guys can get on the end of it, but also in the ones that are 30 yards and in, he'll get a crack to take it on his own. The Galaxy, for them, I don't want to say it's a must-win, but if they want to continue their movement up the Western Conference table, this is the type of team that they need to beat. They're separated by just a point coming into the week, and so the Galaxy have an opportunity to even jump up a couple of spots in the table, because many of the teams that are above them in the Western Conference table right now happen to have a couple of games in hand. So it's going to be a lot of games coming down the stretch here where LA need to come up with results. That doesn't always mean 3 points on the road. As we know, 1 point, a draw can always be a positive thing. You come back to live and play another day. You come back home and you look to take maximum points when you come back to the Home Depot Center. So it should be a good one this weekend between LA and the Seattle Sounders. Make sure you check in and see if the Galaxy are able to go up there to the Pacific Northwest and come away with 3 points on the road. This week's View from the Booth, I'm your host, Mark Rogondino. See you next time.